Tonight, Springdale hosts 7A Central 5th seed, the Mavericks from Southside High School in Fort Smith. They're coached by Jeff Williams. Please welcome to the field the Southside Mavericks. And now, Bulldog fans, entering the game with a 7-3 record. Coach Zach Clark's Bulldogs are the 7A West 4th seed in 7A playoffs. Your team, rich in football history and
Actually, go ahead and run another one. He's still down. That's not too bad. He might take Mason so far. Okay, you can bring it back now.
As we resume play, it'll be Bulldogs ball, first down and 10 at the 20-yard line.
As we get back to action, here's a handoff to Garrett Vaughn's going to gain 9 on the play, brings up second down, 2nd and 1 for Springdale. They're on the 49-yard line. Bo, that was Chop Sanders hurt on the play, and he was down for a long time. That would be a big blow to Springdale on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, it would. I mean, that kid's a playmaker. He's a contributor, as you mentioned, on both sides of the ball and in special teams.
It'll be second down, 2nd and 1 as Vaughn and Mueller will be in the backfield along with Chase Jones. Here's a snap. Here's a handoff to Vaughn off the left side. Cuts it back inside across the south side 45-yard line. Gets down to the south side 43-yard line. And Bo, Garrett Vaughn, a very impressive running back, is he's able to change directions on the dime. They had him pinned in off the right side. Cuts it back inside for a nice gain.
Yeah, he's got excellent field vision. He's excellent quickness as well. He's a kid. He's not overly big. He's 5'11", 170 pounds, but he can move that 170 pounds around the field in a hurry.
He's a football player. It'll be first and 10 for Springdale. The south side 43-yard line started this drive on their own 40-yard line. 7:50 to go here in the first quarter, all tied up at 7 as Will Mueller calls out signals. He'll be the lone one in the backfield. Now we're going to have a timeout by Springdale. With that timeout, we'll take 1-2. It's the Southside Maverick football on Sprint 106.3. I don't know if it's as bad as it usually is.
No.
I wonder if Mason's getting it now.
Yeah, he texted and said
Okay, good. Okay. Welcome back to action. It'll be first and 10 for the Bulldogs at the Southside 43-yard line. We played almost 5 minutes of ball here, Bo, all tied up at 7.
Yeah, and the offenses are doing an excellent job. Just a couple minutes in, defenses really haven't shown up, especially for the Mavericks. They're going to have to get warmed up, Keith. Haven't really shown an ability to stop the run yet, so we'll see what happens as this game goes on.
Yeah, as you mentioned, you want to make Will Mueller throw the football. He's only thrown the ball 45 times coming in, so make him throw the football and put him in an uncomfortable position here. Again, it's first and 10. Here's a handoff again to Vaughn. Gets across the 45. We'll get down to the south side 43-yard line for another Bulldog first down.
Well, that was a quick hitter. He just turned around and handed the ball to Vaughn, who had a head of steam at the snap, and he cut it right up the middle. And it was 5-6 yards before anybody ever touched him.
And, Bo, I'm looking at the lineup for Southside. Looks like I don't see Davenport out there right now. They've got, looks like Jonathan Gonzalez working at middle linebacker for the Mavs. Here's a snap. Here's out to Vaughn off the right side. Has a hole. We'll get inside 35 down to the 27-yard line where Bennett Wandell makes a play for the Southside defense. And, Bo, it looks like early in the ball game, I'm not sure Southside has really gotten used to the speed of Garrett Vaughn. They're taking bad angles.
Yeah, you're right, Keith. And you mentioned Darren Davenport. He's not out there right now. And Wandell had lined up right behind the Gonzalez, who's filling in for Davenport, as if he was a second middle linebacker. It almost looked like he had two middle linebackers on the play. So they are committing him to the run support, that's for sure.
He's second down and 4. Here's a handoff off the left side. He's hit and dropped after about a 1-yard gain to the 27-yard line where Landon Chafee makes the play along with Luke Richardson. Will bring up third down, 3rd and about 3 for the Bulldogs at the Southside 27-yard line.
Well, that was a big stop there by Chafee because puts him in a third down situation, and they're kind of in no man's land. Looks like they're going to try to go for it. So big opportunity for the Mav defense right here to get off the field.
They'll go trip set. to the right side. Now they'll bring a man in motion and go trip set left side, strong left this time. Mueller takes a snap. Here's a handoff. Going to be an end around. It's red, but he gets to the outside. It's going to be hit and dropped back to the 31-yard line. Great job by the Southside defense. Mason Gregory again, along with Luke Richardson, make the play for the Southside defense. They pitch the ball back to Martre Simon, going to lose on the play. Brings up 4th down, 4th and 7.
Well, that was a great play by the Mavs. Springdale came with a little trickeration, but the Mav defense was ready for it.
Mueller calls out signals, trip set to the wide side of the field. Now Mueller looks to the sidelines to get the play. We've got 15 seconds on the play clock, 5:41 on the game clock here in the first quarter. Here's a snap to Mueller. Wants to throw the ball, throws an inside pass, going to be incomplete as he one-hops it over there. Good coverage by Jalen Coleman, intended for Brock Pounders over there. And, Bo, that's going to be a good matchup all night. You got Pounders going against Coleman.
Yeah, it is. Coleman, one of the best cover corners in the state. And Brock Pounders, of course, we've talked about Mr. Do Everything for the Bulldogs. So, you know, you kind of we've remarked throughout the year why teams continue to go after Coleman, but a lot of times you have your best receiver that's used to playing on one side, and he's going to line up on that side, and the Mavs are always going to put Coleman on the team's best receiver. So we'll see what happens with that matchup throughout the game.
Usually takes an interception return to change that thinking. Here's a snap to Gatewood. He's going to keep it off the right side. Now tries to bounce it outside. We'll cut it back inside across the 30 up to about the 33-yard line where he's gang tackled on the play. Brings up 2nd down, 2nd and 7 for the Mavs.
It was a really good job making something out of nothing there for Tay Gatewood. Started up the middle and was nowhere to go. Busted out to the right side. Looked like he wasn't going to get the corner, but he finally made it out there and able to make positive yardage.
Well, I'll go back to the Springdale possession. On 3rd down, they try the end around. I don't really understand the play calling right there, and the fact that you're running the ball well, just straightforward. Why do that? Here's a swing pass out complete and then dropped by Savoy. And fortunately for Southside, it's not a lateral. And Savoy really the last 2 or 3 weeks has really struggled catching the football.
Yeah, it's odd because he's really good catching the ball in the backfield. Most of his career, really, he's been great. That's something they've tried to do. He's such a versatile runner. They want to give him the ball as often as they can. I mean, we've seen him on some wheel routes make some big plays, so he can catch the ball. But you're right, the last couple of weeks, for some reason, he's had the dropsies.
Be a big 3rd down for Southside. They'll go trip set wide side of the field to the left of Gatewood. One receiver, that's Colt McBride, on the short side of the field. One back in the backfield, Savoy, as Gatewood waits on the snap. Here's a snap to Gatewood. Here's a quick pass out to Savoy. He's going to cut it back inside. We'll get up to about the Southside 38-yard line, going to be about 2 yards short of the 1st down.
Well, it brings up another 3 and out for the Mavericks. Really couldn't get anything going there, and it starts with a drop pass, and we've seen drop passes just plague these Mavericks all year long, Keith.
Bo, in this situation, what's actually about 3rd and 2.5, you know, you got burned by a fake punt last week.
It's about the same,
just saying.
Same position on the field.
Yeah, exactly, and not as far to go as Puckett punts the ball away. Simon, along with Pounders, back deep for Springdale. It's a low snap. He gets a snap. It's a short punt that's going to go away out of bounds. Let's see where the spot's going to be. Not a very good punt at all by Adam Puckett, as they will spot the ball at the Springdale 44-yard line.
Well, you kind of never know in these kind of conditions how the ball is going to react, how it's going to come off your foot. The wind, I don't think, is blowing quite as bad as it was the first time we punted it. I really kind of expected that punt to be trouble, and it was a great one. And for some reason, this one just didn't come off of his foot the right way.
They'll spot the ball back at the 42-yard line for Springdale. Again, 4:11 to go here in the first quarter, all tied up at 7. And, Bo, that's what you can't have. 3 possessions, 2 3-and-outs. They hit the big play in the middle possession, but you've got to control that football.
Yeah, you do. You got to give your defense some rest. You got to establish some momentum, some rhythm for your offense, too.
Here's a pitch to the swingman. That's Simon. Simon gets up to the 40. He's going to be trapped and dropped at the 45. Goes forward to the 45-yard line. Will be driven back as making the play for the Southside defense is Jeremiah Van Hook along with Travis Chafee.
And we've seen this Maverick defense have a lot of success when teams try to run east and west on them. They're a pretty good, they're a quick defense. They're not a huge defense, but they can move side to side, move laterally very well. And teams have struggled against the Mavs when they try to go outside like that.
It'll be 2nd down, 2nd and 7 for the Bulldogs. They'll have Vaughn in the backfield. They go 2 receivers wide side of the field. Mueller takes a snap inside, handoff to Vaughn, hitting the backfield, and going to be dropped for about a 3-yard loss back at the 41-yard line. There's big old Sean Rogers back there, along with Jonathan Gonzalez, making the play for the Southside defense.
I love this kid, Sean Rogers, Keith. One of these tough sophomores, talented sophomores. This kid's going to be good for a long time. I mean, he has got some huge potential.
You've got a lot of young. We were talking about that on the way up, Bo. All the front seven on defense next year should really be solid for the Mavs next year. Again, third down, 3rd and 11. As Mueller calls out signals, they'll go 2 receivers wide side of the field. Here's a snap to Mueller. Wants to throw an inside screen, complete 2-pounders. He's got an open field. He's at the 45, 40, 35, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown.
Well, another very well executed screen. We saw the very big play, loss of yardage. You know they're in a passing situation. You know the Mavericks are going to come with the rush, and they did right there. The Bulldogs anticipated it.
Well, there was also a nice hold off that side. Coleman was being held on his backside pretty good to open the play up, but nonetheless, a very poor job defensively by the Mavericks. You got to be ready for that. Barrasso in for the extra point. Ball is down. Kick is up. Kick is good. 2:43 to go here in the first quarter. It's 14-7. Springdale be back with the Springdale kickoff after this. It's the Southside Maverick football on Sprint 106.3. Welcome back. That was a 3-play, 58-yard drive for Springdale, a 58-yard touchdown swing, actually a screen pass out from Will Mueller to Brock Pounders for 58 yards. And what was tough about the play was it was 3rd and 11. Here's a short kick by Barrasso that's fielded by Jay Washington. Will get across the 35. Good return for him at the 37-yard line.
Well, it looked for a second like he was going to break it, didn't it, Keith? He had a full head of steam and had one guy to beat, and that guy just tripped him up. I think if he get past that one, he's streaking down the sideline. And
that's similar to the play we saw on the previous return by Savoy on the other side. He kind of misjudged the ball and had to go back, had no, as you said, had no forward momentum, gets the ball, and they're able to get down and get him. That time, Washington, in stride, took the ball, made a nice return.
Yeah, you saw the difference, that's for sure.
Again, Southside will start this drive on their own 37-yard line. They trail 14-7, 2:40 to go here in a offensive field first quarter. Big plays on both sides of the ball. Here's a snap. Here's a handoff to Savoy off the right side. We'll get across the 45. Will be hit the 45, and a nice form tackle at about the 46-yard line. Making the play defensively is Jonathan Lopez, and Lopez has made 2 or 3 nice tackles on special teams, and there he's to make another really nice form tackle. It'll be 2nd down, 2nd and 1. Good job by the right side of the offensive line for Southside.
Yeah, it was, and that was a good play by Lopez. This is a kid he's listed 5'8", so he's not tall, but he's 180, so he's got a low center of gravity, and you seen him go low on Savoy right there.
He's 2nd down, 2nd and 1 for the Mavs. Here's a snap. Here's a handoff to Savoy. Going to be hit in the backfield and dropped right at the line of scrimmage. Making the play will be McCain Woods. Will bring up 3rd down, 3rd and 1 for the Mavs.
Well, Keith, that's 2 plays in a row. I've seen Savoy get hit and not go forward, and you do not see that very often. This Springdale Bulldog team, they're tackling well right now.
Bo, like I said earlier, I think what they've got to do, and we saw this last week against Northside, is you got to have Savoy with speed come to that line of scrimmage. That time they tried a little misdirection. He's flat-footed and had no forward momentum going to the line of scrimmage. Again, 3rd down, 3rd and 1. Here's a keeper by Gatewood. Gatewood is going to have the 1st down, so he will fall forward to the Southside 48-yard line, 1st and 10 Mavs.
You got to give all the credit to Tate Gatewood on that one. There were Bulldogs in the backfield just as soon as he caught the ball. There were 3 right on him, and he knifed in between them. They got some hands on him, but he kept his feet moving and simultaneously keeps the chains going too.
Be 1st and 10 for the Mavs. The ball will be spotted on the right hash at their own 48-yard line. They'll go 2 backs in the backfield. Bogner along with Savoy. Gatewood works pistol formation. Here's a snap. Here's a handoff to Savoy. Crosses the 45. As he's at the 40, will fall down inside the 40, down to the 37-yard line. Again, there's that quick hitter.
And that's the Savoy we're used to seeing right there. And that goes back to your point, Keith. At the snap of the ball, they had him moving forward towards the line of scrimmage. He got the ball with some momentum, and you saw him break some tackles on that play.
It's called speed in action.
There you go.
Be 1st and 10 at the Springdale 37.5-yard line. Southside trails 14-7 here late in the first quarter. As Gatewood calls out signals again, they go strong right with Bogner along with Savoy. Southside thought tonight, Bo, they could run the ball on Springdale. Now they're bringing man in motion. That's Tyree Solomon. Here's a quick handoff to Savoy. Finds a hole across the 35. Will fall forward down to about the 33.5-yard line. Will bring up second down, 6 for the Mavs.
Yeah, and I like that play too because they fake the pitch option with Gatewood with Tyree Solomon trailing. But they handed it Savoy up the middle, so you may see them go to that play later on, fake it to Savoy, and actually go with that option.
Again, second down, 2nd and 6 for the Mavs. Southside goes trip set wide side of the field. Now they bring a man in motion. That's Bogner. Will set up just to the right of the right tackle. Here's a handoff that way to Savoy. Cuts it back inside across the 30 down to the 29-yard line where Hunter Cornelson makes the play for Springdale. Will bring up 3rd down, 3rd, and let's call it 2 for the Mavs.
Nice drive the Mavs are putting together right here, and all the work is being done on the ground. Haven't thrown a pass yet, and I think it's good for this Mav offensive line, get some momentum moving in the right direction.
Now it's going to be the end of the first quarter. At the end of one quarter, Southside trails 14-7. Back with the start of the second quarter after this. This is Southside Maverick football on Sprint 106.3. As we start the second quarter, it'll be 3rd down, 3rd and 1 for the Mavs at the Springdale 29-yard line. Will be the 7th play of the drive as we started as Southside trails 14-7 here in the second quarter. And, Bo, this has been the big drive for Southside tonight. The first possession, they were 3 and out. Second possession, they scored on a 65-yard touchdown pass to Tyree Solomon, 2 plays. Third possession, 3 and out. Now this will be the 7th play of the drive, which started there on 37-yard line.
Yeah, but I like this particular drive because they're getting some momentum. They're keeping the ball, time of possession's going up.
Gatewood takes a snap. Here's a quick handoff to Solomon. Cuts it back inside. We'll have a first down. So he rumbles hard inside the 25 down to about the 22-yard line. Making the play for the Springdale defense is Gabe Bukao. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Mavs.
Well, they got it going the right direction. I think they just need to get warmed up, Keith. Took them about a quarter to get their feet under them, but the offensive line on this particular series looks like they're blocking much better.
Again, Southside will go strong right this time with Bogner lines up at tight end. Here's a quick handoff to that side to Savoy, and there's a big hole there as he gets across the 15, works his way, keeps those legs moving inside the 15 down to about the 13-yard line.
Well, as you mentioned earlier, Coach thought he could that the Mavs could run the ball on this team, and they're certainly doing that right now. Maverick offensive line is just imposing their will up there, making huge holes.
It'll be 2nd down, 2nd and 2, and that's what you like. 2nd 2, 2nd 3, we could live with that all night.
Oh, yeah. Not only is it easily makeable, it just opens up the playbook. You can do something crazy, toss it to the end zone right here, knowing you can get the first down on 3rd down.
Be 2nd down, 2nd 2. Here's a handoff to Savoy. He has a nice hole. He's going to get down to around the 10-yard line. Will be a first down for the Mavs, just short of the 10.
Well, he had to get 2 yards, and I don't think anybody even touched him until he'd run 2 yards, and then after that, everything else is gravy.
Bo, this is what I like, too. This is smash mouth football, and you talk about, yeah, you could go and do something crazy here, but no reason to. As long as you're moving the sticks like they're moving, just keep pounding that ball. This will actually be the 10th play of the drive as the ball is spotted at the 11-yard line of Springdale. Southside will go with Gatewood in the backfield. Two tight end set. Now bring a man in motion. That's Savoy. Here's the keeper off the right side by Gatewood. Cuts it inside. Will fall forward down to about the 7-yard line. Will be a gain of 3 on the play. Brings up second down, 2nd and 7 for the Mavs. Like what they did, Bo, you look like they bring Savoy in motion, trying to draw the Springdale defense to that side. Gatewood picks us all, gains 3 yards.
Yeah, I love that play because you've been giving them a healthy dose of Ricardo, and then he comes across and they fake it to him. You got the Springdale Bulldogs going in that direction. Gatewood had a lead blocker in front of him who actually missed a block. I think if he makes that block, he might get into the end zone.
Second down, 2nd and 7 for the Mavs. Here's a snap to Gatewood. He's going to keep the ball to the inside. He's inside the 5, down to the goal line. Let's see. Going to be just short of the goal line. And he gets inside the 1. Will be 1st and goal for the Mavs.
Well, it was almost the same play. They had everything going to the left. Gatewood looked like he was going to pitch it out to Ricardo, and then he yanked it back and took off running. And, well, there was just a lot of real estate right in front of him, and that was right in the teeth of that defense. If you're Coach Williams watching this Maverick offensive line work right now, you got to be happy.
And Tay did a great job of lowering that shoulder, getting that extra yard. I thought maybe he's going to get to the end zone just a bit short as Southside goes with one back in the backfield. Savoy, here's a high snap, a keeper by Gatewood. Will work his way down to the goal line. Let's see. Touchdown, Southside.
Good individual effort by Tay Gatewood. It was kind of a little strange play. He spun around like he was going to fake it. There was no one there to fake it to, and then he just took off running up the middle.
No, Bo, what happened, it looked like Savoy went the wrong way, and yeah, he just had to eat the football, and what a great job by Tay, too, finding open just to get in the end zone.
Yeah, but I give credit to the offensive line as well. You see plays like that sometimes get blown up because you have a defender knifing in there. Wasn't going to happen on that play. Good blocking.
The Southside will attempt to tie the ball game up with the extra point as Connor Robles checks in along with Kel Sheets. Your ball is down. Your kick is up. Kick is good. All tied up here at 14. Be back with a MAF kickoff after this. This is Southside Maverick football on Spirit 106.3. I'm getting cold. That was a 12-play, 63-yard drive for the Mavs, a 1-yard touchdown run by Tay Gatewood. Bo, what was impressive, 12 running plays.
Yeah, they didn't put it in the air one time. They just came out trying to make a statement on that play, and they did it. They showed the Bulldogs that they are tough. They're playing smash-mouth football. They've traveled up the hill. They're ready to make a ball game out of this.
And that'll wear your defense down right there. We saw it last week in reverse against Southside when Northside ran that 12-play drive. It just kind of took them out of the ball game. Let's hope Southside maybe can get a hold here, get the ball back, and maybe duplicate that. Here's a kick by Robles. Will be a deep kick that will be going into the end zone. Back deep was Darryl Parchman. Doesn't get the ball, so they'll start this drive on their own 25-yard line. Now we've got a flag on the play. Looks like Southside may have been offsides.
Well, that's unfortunate because that was a very nice kick by Robles. Had the wind at his back. Ball landed on the goal line and bounced into the end zone.
That's the kind of plays, though, that you can't make.
Well, they're frustrating, and, you know, we talked about it before. Special teams has been a problem for the Mavericks all season long. So, yeah, especially your offense does such a great job marching the ball down the field and scoring. And then you come back and have a penalty in special teams. Gives the other team a chance to get the ball in good field position.
That's the one if you're on special teams, you don't want the referee to give the number.
Right.
Let's just assume it happened, let it go on, as again Robles will kick off for the Mavs. Back deep will be Vaughn along with Simon. Here's a kick. It's going to come down to Simon inside the 10. He is at the 9-yard line, goes across field. There's a nice block off the side, and he's going to hit and dropped at the 18-yard line. What a great play by Mason Gregory.
Mason Gregory, a sure tackler, one of the leading tacklers on this Maverick team from a safety position. makes a fantastic special teams play there, and the penalty actually ends up helping the Mavericks because of such good kickoff coverage.
Yeah, the Mavs have an injury on the sideline. Can't tell who that is on the side getting up over there for Southside. But, as I watch this defense, though, and I look at these safeties, Gregory and Wandale, they're ball players. They do whatever you can do to try to win a football game. You saw it right there on special teams. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs. They now are tied with the Mavs at 14. As Mueller takes a snap, hands the ball off inside to Vaughn. He's going to be hit at the 20-yard line. Maybe not get to the 20-yard line. What a great job. Jack Hannon leading the charge for the Southside defense. Also, Gonzalez making the play over there for Southside. And Jonathan Gonzalez has stepped in for Darren Davenport, done a very good job here early in the ball game.
Yeah, you see him deliver a solid hit right there. And a good job by the Maverick D-line standing their offensive lineman up so that the linebackers could get in position to make that play.
Be 2nd down, 2nd and 9 for the Bulldogs. They go strong right this time with Vaughn in the backfield. As Mueller calls out signals, you had Jaden Cornelius out there. Mueller wants to throw an inside pass complete. 2-pounders. Gets away from Jalen Coleman at the 40-yard line, fumbles it at the 43-yard line, and that'll be a 1st and 10. And, we were fortunate there. He just turned a step, and Coleman was just faked out of the play.
Yeah, that's something you don't see very often, is Jalen Coleman get beaten so badly. I mean, Coleman went up, broke down to make the play, and he just kind of olayed him and ran right by him.
And then Pounders got across the 40 and fumbled the football, and fortunately for the Bulldogs, it went out of bounds. Here's a snap. Here's a handoff to Vaughn. Good penetration by Cole out as Vaughn cuts it back inside, crosses the 40, will get up to about the 42-yard line. But credit Cole out to Bo, forcing him back to the inside. There's Landon Chafee making another play for the Southside defense.
You're right, Keith. Forced him back into the teeth of the Mav defense. Maverick defense playing pretty well right now, flying to the football. Just been a couple of big plays that's hurt them. So if they can get that wrapped up, they'll be in good shape.
Be 2nd down, 2nd and 7. Yeah, they got to see where Pounders is at. He's been a big difference maker early. Here's a handoff to Vaughn. Gets across midfield down to the Southside 45-yard line where Mason Gregory makes a play for the Southside defense. Will be another Bulldog 1st down.
Yeah, you had both of your safeties combining on that one. Mason Gregory gets there first and holds him up. Bennett Wandale cleans him off. And, you talked about those two guys. Those are a couple of tough football players right there. I can see Wandale holding his hand. He's got something going on, but he's so tough he'll power through it.
Be 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs as Mueller takes a snap, hands the ball off the left side to Vaughn. Is going to get inside the Southside 40, run out of bounds by Bennett Wandale at the Southside 38-yard line. Gain of 7 on the play, brings up 2nd down, 2nd and 3. Bo, I'm kind of looking over the Southside defense. Also in there for Southside, I don't see Eli Lyles in the ball game, as in there it looks like there's Dakota Wareham working at the outside backer. The only regular linebacker in there right now is Landon Chafee.
Yeah, that's interesting. Don't know what's going on with Eli Lyles. Another one of those talented sophomores who's been playing well all year.
Be 2nd down, 2nd and 3 as Mueller calls out signals, takes a snap, wants to throw the football. Now here comes the heat. He gets away and is going to be hit and dropped at the 37-yard line. Ball on the ground. Let's see.
I'm afraid they got it back. Looked like the Mavs had a chance at it, but I think Springdale recovered it.
Getting off the pile for Southside is Luke Richardson along with Dakota Wareham. It'll bring up 3rd down, 3rd, and a spotted at the 37-yard line. Be 3rd down, 3rd and 2 for the Bulldogs.
Keith, I think Dakota Wareham's the one who caused that fumble. Mueller's running with the ball, and he knifes in there and breaks down, delivers a hard hit, put his helmet right on the football.
Again, it'll be 3rd down as Springdale goes in motion. They'll bring Vaughn in the backfield to the left of Mueller. Here's a snap. Here's a handoff to Vaughn off the right side. Is going to be hit, gets away, will get a 1st down inside the Southside 35 down to the 33-yard line. Good hard run by Garrett Vaughn, Bo, but they had a chance to get him in the backfield. He's able to evade the first tackle or get the 1st down.
Yeah, you had a Maverick knifing in there very quick and just kind of looked like one of the Springdale offensive linemen kind of cut its knees right out from under him right as he got to the ball carrier and missed the tackle.
Be 1st and 10 the Southside 32-yard line. As they'll have Pounders in the backfield. Now he goes in motion. Mueller calls out signals. Takes a snap. He looks that way, wants to throw the ball, throws the ball down the field. And the ball is going to be incomplete as the receiver came to the inside. That was Connor Sykes, who was open on the play. Again, he gets away from Jalen Coleman and drops the football.
Yeah, he was wide open on that play. The ball came down right in his hands. Very fortunate for the Mavericks. He dropped it, and I'm not sure what's going on with Jalen Coleman right now. For a second, he was running step for step. All of a sudden, the receiver cuts inside, and Coleman just didn't go with him.
But it almost looks like that Coleman's really not picking the ball up so far, because they've thrown 2 or 3 passes his way, and he's really struggled to find the football. Here's a handoff off the left side, too. Vaughn cuts it back inside, will be hit and dropped at the Southside 27-yard line. Bennett Wandell flips him over there along with Landon Chafee. Brings up 3rd down, 3rd and 5 for the Bulldogs. 6:23 to go here in the second quarter, all tied up at 14. Big play here for the Southside defense as Springdale goes trip set to the right of Mueller. Mueller looks to the sideline to get the play, has Garrett Vaughn in the backfield. 13 on the play clock, 6:06 on the game clock. Here's a snap, a quick pitch out to Mueller. Is going to have the first down inside the Southside 25 down to about the 22-yard line.
Well, the Bulldogs of Springdale putting together their own impressive drive. They've answered. Every time the Mavs do something, the Bulldogs come back and answer, and they put together an impressive drive of their own, sort of the same way that Southside did it, keeping it on the ground. A couple times they have tried to pass it, haven't been met with much success.
Springdale will line up with trip set wide side of the field, 2 receiver short side of the field with Mueller by himself in the backfield, works pistol formation. Here's a snap. Mueller wants to throw the football, throws the football, going to be complete over there at the 17.5-yard line to Brock Pounders, where he's knocked out of bounds by Dakota Wareham. Will be bring up 2nd down, 2nd and 5 for the Bulldogs.
Well, Keith, you need to call down there and tell him Brock Pounders is wearing number 2. Wherever he is going, find him, because he seems to be the man for the Bulldogs right now. They want to go in his direction.
Exactly. Again, 2nd down, 2nd and 5. As this time Pounders works at quarterback, will take the snap, goes off the left side, cuts it back inside the 15 down to about the 13-yard line. Looks like the spot's going to be about maybe a half yard short of a first down.
Going with a little wildcat formation, putting their wide receiver in the backfield.
Bo, I've got to get the back judge's attention. Every time they snap the ball, there's a lot of grabbing going on by the Springdale offensive line. As Southside will get penetration, you see a grab and a hold, but not enough to make a call. As, again, 3rd down, 3rd, and they've got 2 on the board. As Mueller takes a snap, hands the ball off to Vaughn, cuts it back across the field. He's at the 10, he's at the 5. Will be run out of bounds just short of the goal line at about the 2-yard line.
Well, I was kind of surprised and give credit to Jalen Coleman for pushing him out of bounds at the last second, but it looked to me like he was going to have a clear path to the end zone. I think if he cuts it back up inside, he makes the goal line.
Be 1st and goal inside the 1-yard line. And you're exactly right, both. Southside has a 12-play drive. Springdale, this will be the 12th play of this drive. And, again, it's basically they've thrown, I think, 1 pass on this drive. No, 2 passes, excuse me. Pounders had 2 catches on this drive. Mueller calls out signals, hands the ball off to Vaughn. Vaughn will get in the end zone, touchdown.
Well, that's about as easy as you can make it. He just found a little seam and jumped over the pile, landed in the end zone. And, yeah, very similar to what Southside did in their previous drive. Even up to the last play of the drive, they had it 1st and goal from the 1, and so did we. And both teams able to take advantage. So it looks like one of those games, Keith. It's going to be back and forth. The offense is going to have to come back and answer with a couple minutes left before half.
Yeah, Nelson Barrasso in for the extra point. Ball is down. Your kick is up. Kick is good. 4:51 to go here in the second quarter. Springdale leads 21-14. Be back with the Bulldog kickoff after this. This is Southside Maverick football on Spirit 106.3. Welcome back to action. That was a 12-play, 82-yard drive for Springdale. A 1-yard touchdown run by Garrett Vaughn. And again, both, they only threw the ball twice We started out a lot of short offensive series for both teams with a couple of scores, but now the teams have settled down, just moving the football, working the clock.
Yeah, it seems like both teams are kind of going back to maybe what they do best and running the football. And if you're, Springdale, you got a talented runner like Garrett Vaughn, you got to go to him.
Here's a short kick by Barrasso, will be fielded by Washington, fumbles it on the play, picks it up, and will be hit. The ball's on the ground. Southside gets it.
Ooh, that was a close one, Keith. He dodged a bullet right there. Washington never really, I think, had full control of that football. Took a couple steps and got hit, and the ball fell back out of his hands, but luckily there was a Maverick right there to jump on it.
Yeah, it was Jack Clark making the play for Southside. Let's mark that one down, because that's a play right there, down 21-14. You give the ball up right there, this game could get away in a hurry.
Yeah, you give it to their offense on your own 25-yard line. Almost impossible to keep them out of the end zone at that point. And you're right, Keith. Right before half, and knowing they're getting the ball back at half, that would have been bad.
Be 1st and 10 for Southside. They'll start this drive on their own 27-yard line. Here's a snap. Here's a handoff to Savoy. Fumbles the football, but I think he landed on it at his 32-yard line.
Well, we have seen a lot of fumbles. We saw actually on that last play for the Bulldogs, them put the ball on the ground twice.
It looks like the Bulldogs may have the ball. Let's see.
They're
they're giving the ball.
Well, that's unfortunate. That's a blow for the Mavericks right there, Keith. You just can't do that. I know it's a cold, hard football, and it's easy to put it on the ground, but man, you gotta secure that football. You gotta put both hands on it.
And the ball will be spotted at the Southside 32-yard line. I thought Savoy may have landed on the football.
It looked like it did to me too, Keith. But I guess it might have been one of those situations where you're under the pile and one of the guys kind of rips it out. That happens a lot. And sometimes the refs they don't see who's got the football, and whoever has it last, they deemed to have recovered it.
Well, again, it goes back to what's been a pattern for Southside. The last 4 minutes of the half, Southside going to have to get a big defensive stop here, as Southside's going to take a timeout. With that timeout, we'll take one too. This is Southside Maverick football on Spirit 106.3. Do a minute. Who? 92 is Kobe Rogers' little brother. Sean Rogers. Oh, Alphonse? As we get back to action, it'll be 1st and 10 for Springdale. Mueller goes back to pass, throws the ball incomplete, brings it 2nd down, 2nd and 10 for the Bulldogs. And Bo, it's life support situation for Southside. They've got to get a hold here. Can't give up any points, down by 7 after the big fumble by Savoy.
Yeah, they got to stand up, get a stop right here. Almost had an opportunity to make a big interception right there. The ball came down in between two Mavs. It was too high for one and too low for the other.
Eli Lyles back in the ball game for Southside. Mueller takes a snap, hands the ball off to Vaughn up the middle, has a big hole across the 25 down to the Southside 23-yard line.
Well, Keith, I understand taking a shot at the end zone on that last play, but these Bulldogs are running the ball well. I think, I don't think they have to put the ball in the air at all. They may keep doing it just to keep the defense of the Mavs off balance, but we haven't shown the ability yet to stop their running game.
Now, Southside changing defense up a bit, Bo. They've got Landon Chafee working in the middle with Eli Lyles back in the game. Dakota Wareham on the outside. Here's a snap. Here's a handoff to Vaughn. He's hit in the backfield, drop for a big loss by Sean Rogers back to the 31-yard line.
And, Keith, we were just talking there in the break. Sean Rogers, the little brother of Kobe Rogers, running back for Southside a few years ago, and that kid was a ball player, and his little brother is too.
Let's mark that play down, Bo. That's a big play for Southside. It'll bring up 4th down, 4th and 9 for the Bulldogs. Again, Southside trails 21-14, 3:27 to go here before the half.
Tell you what, you get the ball on this 4th down, it erases that fumble.
Mueller calls out signals, has Vaughn in the backfield. They'll go strong left this time. Got to watch that screen play. That's been a big play all night for Springdale. They're down to 5 on the play clock. Looks like Springdale may call a timeout here, 2 on the play clock, 1. And Springdale will take a timeout. With that timeout, we'll take 1, too. Just a Southside Maverick football on Sprint 106.3. Do a minute. Apparently it was an article about Cole Altus. He has issues. He's had a lot of issues with the boys. Yeah. I'll tell you later. One good thing about a lot of commercials. Mueller takes a snap. Here comes the pressure. He's hitting the backfield. Sack for the loss. Mavericks take over. What a great job by Southside. That's Jeremiah Van Hook along with Cole Altus making the play for the Southside defense, Bo. But credit Sean Rogers, a big 3rd down play. 3rd and 2. Hits Garrett Vaughn in the backfield for a big loss, forcing the 4th down play. Southside holds. Great job defense. Yeah, puts them in 4th and long and good coverage. You know they're going to pass, so it's good coverage down the field by the Mavs. Forcing Mueller to hold the ball just long enough for the D-line to get there. And turnover on downs, you know, the fumble, it was bad, but it doesn't really hurt you because you get the ball right back. The Southside will go trip set wide side of the field as Gatewood calls out signals. Here's a snap. Here's a fumble by Gatewood. Picks it up and going to be sacked way in the backfield back at the 22-yard line. Well, Keith, the Mavericks just can't get out of their own way right now. It seems like, you know, had such a good offensive series a couple of series ago, marched the ball right down the field and come back with a fumble, 2 fumbles in a row on your first play. And, Bo, that's just mystifying. They get in a groove, you have the 12-play drive, and then it's just like it's gone. Yeah, as they get back out on the field, you know, Springdale answers, so your offense comes back, you think you're going to answer, and then for whatever reason, you just all momentum out the window. Be 2nd down, 2nd and 20 for the Mavs. They'll spot the ball at the Southside 24-yard line. Here's a snap to Gatewood. Looks to throw, throws it over the middle, has an open receiver. That's Savoy, and he drops the football. Well, that would have been a tough catch. The ball kind of hit him. It was up in his face mask area, but it wasn't a bad thrown ball. I mean, it was a typical laser by Tay Gatewood. It got right on him. I don't think maybe he was ready for it. Threw up both hands, but wasn't able to pull it in. And he threw it in coverage, too. That was really a nice throw, and that's a play, too. It's not an easy catch by any means because that football is going to be hard coming in. You can't really bring it to your body, but you got to make that play. Yeah, you do. I mean, as you said, it was in coverage, so good throw by your quarterback putting it where only your receiver could catch it streaking down the middle of the field, but I think you're right, Keith. You got to come up with it. Again, 3rd down, 3rd and 20 for the Mavs. They'll go trip set wide side of the field. Here's a snap to Gatewood. Looks to throw the ball. Here comes the heat. Throws the ball over the middle. They're going to be intercepted at the Southside 35-yard line. He's at the 25-yard line. At the 20, will be knocked out of bounds at the 18-yard line. That is Christian Wise on the interception at the Southside 18-yard line. And 2 turnovers in a row have really put Southside in a bad situation, Bo. Well, your defense responded big to the fumble. You got the ball deep in your own territory. They step up, get the ball back for your offense. And what does your offense do? Turn right around and give it back to the Springdale Bulldogs. And now your defense, once again, back against the wall. Let's see if they can step up again right here with 2 minutes left to go before halftime. Well, I cannot. I just can't figure out what's happened to this offense. They just have been out of sync. Really, the best game they had was the first game of the year, and from that point on, it's really kind of been a downward spiral. There's no sync to this offense between the receivers and the quarterback that I've really noticed most of the year. It's been a struggle, a lot of turnovers, a lot of bad plays, but, you know, the defense has stepped up big. Now we've got a flag on the play, maybe a delay of game on Springdale to bring it back 5 yards, and a big series here. Bo, and the fact that Southside trails 21-14, 2:03 to go. You can't give up another touchdown with Springdale getting the ball to start the second half.
Exactly. You go 2 scores down going into halftime and then give them the ball right back to start the second half. You do that, and this game might get out of reach for you.
Mueller calls out signals, has Vaughn in the backfield, trips, twin receivers either side. Now Mueller's going to try to run with the football. Here comes the heat, throws it down the field, and it's going to be intercepted by Southside. That is Mason Gregory on the interception. He's at the 15, at the 20-yard line, at the 21-yard line. That's where Southside will take over. What a great job. What a great job by the defense.
Yeah, you got to, I mean, if you're Tate Gatewood, if you're Ricardo Savoy, you got to go over and shake every member of that defense's hand because they've just bailed you out twice. You put them in bad position, give them the ball to the other team deep in your own territory. Both times the defense has stepped up big.
Bo, you're almost in a position, I kind of joke about this, you could almost take a knee and go into the half and try to regroup, but Southside really needs to try to make something happen here because they have been bailed out twice. We go back to the big play by Sean Rogers and now the play by Mason Gregory for the interception. Are you a bit surprised they went down the field like that, Springdale?
Well, they've been running the ball so well, I am, Keith.
Here's Gatewood on a keeper, crosses the 20. He's at the 25. He's at the 30-yard line. At the 35, will be driven out of bounds at the 34-yard line. A nice run by Gatewood where Brendell Cook makes a play for the Bulldog defense. They'll spot him at the 34-yard line, be a 1st and 10 for the Mavs. 1:46 to go here before the half. Southside trails 21-14. Bo, how big would this be for Southside to go down, get a score after what's happened here the last 2 series for the Mavs?
Yeah, it would be a huge momentum shift. That's what they need to do, go in tight at halftime.
Gatewood takes a snap. He's going to keep the ball again off the right side, tries to get outside, will bounce it back inside across the 35, will fall forward to about the 37-yard line, will bring up 2nd down, 2nd and 7 for the Mavs.
Well, it's interesting to me after the fumble by Ricardo, they go 2 running plays in a row, both of them keepers by your quarterback, and Gatewood's probably your most sure-handed ball handler on the offensive side of the football, so they dial his number up twice.
Southside goes trip set wide side of the field, a stack formation in the slot. Here's a quick pass out complete to Savoy across the 40, cuts it back across the 44-yard line. Looks like he may have a Southside 1st down. Southside needs to hurry up. We've got 1:07 on the clock as they've got 3rd down marker there. Southside hurrying to the line of scrimmage, and it will be a Southside 1st down at the 44-yard line. Bo, you've got 1:07, 2 timeouts. You get the benefit of the clock stopping until they set the change. So Southside got plenty of time to make something happen here at their own 44-yard line, trailing 21-14. Gatewood takes a snap, wants to throw the football, wants to take it deep, goes deep down the field, going to be complete. That is Tyree Solomon at the 25. He's at the 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Southside.
What a great play by Tyrese. The ball was underthrown. He stopped and come back to it. I actually think it may have been a little comeback route the defender wasn't ready for. Good timing by Gatewood and Tyrese. What a huge response by the offense. You're struggling, mistakes. Defense gives you the ball back, and you take advantage.
Bo, what was nice about that play was you're exactly right. What you're saying is the defender did not turn and find the football. It was a bit underthrown. Tyrese does a great job of catching the football, gets a little bit of space. It's over.
Now you look, you're giving the ball, you get the touchdown. Springdale with 53 seconds on the clock. Kind of makes me wonder, what are they going to do?
Well, Springdale will probably try to run the clock out. They've got to be shell-shocked after getting 2 turnovers, no points. Southside answers for a touchdown to tie it up as Robles attempts the extra point. The ball is up. It's good. All tied up at 21. Be back with the Mav kickoff after this. This is Southside Maverick Football on Sprint 106.3. I can't see him doing anything, so if I'm involved, I would. We got lucky too because Frederick didn't make any shekels interference. It was underthrown. Welcome back to action. There was a 4-play, 79-yard drive for the Mavs, a 56-yard touchdown pass from Tay Gatewood, Tyrese Solomon. Bo, what we talked about in the opener was the fact that your big play guys have got to make plays tonight. We've seen the combination of Tay Gatewood, Tyrese Solomon, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, we have Tyrese as a guy who it just seems like in clutch situations, he's probably the one guy on the offensive side of the football who always seems to come up make the catch he needs to make.
Again, Simon, Vaughn, and we're back deep. It's going to be a short kick this time that Simon's going to field at the Springdale 20. Will be hit and dropped at the 37-yard line. And good field position as Bennett Wandell makes a play for the Southside special teams.
I'm gonna say this, Keith. I don't want Bennett Wandell to hit me. That guy can flat tackle. I mean, we see him on defense taking on these big running backs, and then the special teams flying down on kickoff coverage, making a huge hit. It's
kind of like practice makes perfect. He's made so many tackles out here. You just see, you expect it. And I'll tell you what, he's going to be a big loss next year for the Mavs, losing him and Mason Gregory. As Mueller takes a snap, here's a handoff off the right side to Vaughn. They are going to string him out, and they're going to run him out of bounds as he's escorted out of bounds by Mason Gregory at the 39-yard line. We'll bring up 2nd down, 2nd and 7 for the Bulldogs. We've got 43 seconds to go here before the half, all tied up at 21.
Well, we were kind of wondering what Springdale was going to do in these final seconds. Choose to keep the ball on the ground right there, and I'm not sure it's a bad decision because we've already seen Mueller make a couple mistakes in the passing game. Mueller
takes a snap. Here's a handoff to Vaughn up the middle. He's going to be hit and dropped at the 42.5-yard line. We'll bring up 3rd down, 3rd and 5 for Springdale. Looks like Springdale going to be happy just to run the clock out as we're down to 29 seconds on the clock, all tied up at 21. And they'll have to run at least one more play, 18 on the play clock. About a 2-second difference right there. Mueller calls out signals. We'll have Vaughn in the backfield. Here's a snap. Here's a handoff to Vaughn off the left side. He's being chased over there, going to be hit and dropped. Should have a 1st down. Making the play for Southside is Landon Chafee. And Landon Chafee's had a really good first half for Southside.
He has. He seems like he's been in on every play. If it's not Bennett Wandell, it's Landon Chafee. And he looked like for a second they were going to run off the field. But I don't know if they're not going to require him to run another play.
A nice finish for the Mavs, though, here in the first half. Again, we're at the half, all tied up at 21. Be back with the Frank Rowe Furniture halftime report after this. It's the Southside Maverick football on Sprint 106.3.
Go 3 minutes, Clay. Yes, sir. I said go 3 minutes, please. was.
Hey, Bo, it's getting loud again. Hey, Clay, give me a count on commercials here next break. Welcome to the Frank Rowe Furniture Halftime Report. Remember, Frank Rowe Furniture, best seats in the house, no credit check financing, made in USA recliners, sofas, beds, tables, and chairs, made in USA appliances, washers, dryers, stoves, refrigerators. Check them out at www.frankrowefurniture.com. All tied up here at 21 here in the first half. Bo, it was a good first half, and for Southside, it was a very good ending in the first half.
Yeah, it was a back-and-forth game. It was a really exciting first game. You had a little bit of everything. You had fumbles, interceptions. You had long pass plays, some great running plays. It was exciting first half of football.
And you look at the end of the first half, and we all talk about this in several games for Southside. Those last 4 minutes of the first half was very exciting in the fact that, not in a good way by any means, as Springdale scores a touchdown to go ahead 21-14. Southside gets the ball back. You have a Ricardo Savoy fumble. Springdale gets the ball deep in Southside territory, and then the defense steps up big as Sean Rogers on 2nd down, 2nd and 2, hits the star running back Garrett Vaughn back in the backfield for a 7-yard loss, making it 3rd down, 3rd and 9, and then Landon Chafee cleans up the quarterback, Will Mueller. You get the stop. Very next series for Southside, Tay Gatewood throws an interception that's run back into the Southside territory, back to the 18-yard line. Then your defense steps up again with Mason Gregory on an interception.
Yeah, it was the old the 4-minute scare, the witching hour, I like to say. For some reason, about 4 minutes right before half, the Mavs have not had a lot of success. We've had a lot of bad things go against us right before halftime, and it looked like it was going to happen again with the Ricardo Savoy fumble. But give credit to the Southside defense, stepping up big twice. We fumble the ball, give it to them, then we get the interception, give it to them. Both times with their backs against the wall, the defense steps up huge.
Bo, how big is that? We always talk about the fact that Springdale gets the ball to start the second half, but stepping up and making those plays when we talk about this is, do or die right now. If you give up a touchdown, you go down, 2 scores at half, they get the ball to start the second half. This game could be out of reach, fairly quick, but, you see your defense coming out, making those plays. It's got to fire your offense up. And we saw that on the last series. The Southside goes down and gets a big tying touchdown.
Yeah, I mean, because it's a 14-point swing. If the Springdale Bulldogs score on either one of those times, those opportunities, golden opportunities, if the defense doesn't step up and stop them, well, that's a 14-point swing, and you go down 2 scores at half, and then Springdale gets the ball back to start the second half, and you've just seen, your defense give up a touchdown. I mean, that's that's backbreaking. But instead, what happens is your defense steps up, gives the ball back to the offense. As you said, they respond. They get a big drive, come down and score, and instead it's a tie ball game. And here we are. It's just like it's 0-0. You got 1 half of football left to see if you can keep keep staying this playoff.
And Bo, the defense tonight so far is really playing shorthanded. Darren Davenport went out early in the ball game. They put Jonathan Gonzalez in at middle backer, and then a bit later Eli Lyles goes out with an injury, but he's able to come back in the ball game, and they finished the first half with 3 sophomores out there, Dakota Wareham along with Landon Chafee, who is now playing middle linebacker, and Eli Lyles on the outside doing a great job.
Yeah, these sophomores, we've talked about them all year, and they are really stepping up in this game. I mean, the defense as a whole is playing well, but at the linebacker position, as you mentioned, with your anchor, your quarterback on that side of the ball, Darren Davenport out, these sophomores are stepping up big, and they're filling his shoes. not a lot of drop-off. I mean, you'd love to have Darren Davenport out there, but these young guys are stepping up.
Exactly. Again, we're at the half, all tied up at 21. Be back with the first half scoring summary after this. You're listening to Frank Rowe Furniture Halftime Report on Spirit 106.3. Man, I thought we were doing better than that.
We got some work to do.
Yeah, go 3 on this one. We'll do the scoring summary and then do another 3.
Hadn't said anything. Yeah. Seems to have gotten worse. Just keeps getting worse. Wait.
That was good right there. Welcome back to the Frank Rowe Furniture Halftime Report. As we look at the first half scoring summary, Southside took the opening kickoff. They go 3 plays and out, have to punt the ball away. Springdale takes over on the 36-yard line. They go 5 plays, 64 yards for a touchdown, an 8-yard touchdown run by Garrett Vaughn.
Garrett Vaughn, we talked about him in the opening, very talented running back. He was out for a few weeks, but before that he'd rushed for over 1,200 yards. This kid can run the football, and we saw some of that during this first half.
Southside takes over on their own 23-yard line. 2 plays later, they get a 65-yard touchdown pass from Tay Gatewood to Tyrese Solomon.
Yeah, that would be the first of 2 to Tyrese. And you talked about with Coach before the game, big-time players need to step up, and Tyrese is probably our biggest-time player. And, you know, last week against Northside, we didn't step up, but so far we've done it this first half.
Both teams trade possessions then, and then Springdale takes over on their own 42-yard line. On a 3rd and 11 play, they throw a screen pass out from Will Mueller to Brock Pounders. He goes 58 yards for a touchdown, 3 plays, 58 yards.
And Brock Pounders, another talented skill position guy for these Springdale Bulldogs, and just seemed like he was the guy that they kept trying to go to, and we were in a passing situation. The Mavericks had their ears pinned back. It was a good rush and just tossed it right over their head. It was a perfectly executed screenplay.
Well, then Southside takes over to their own 37-yard line. They go 12 plays, culminating with a 1-yard touchdown run by Tay Gatewood. Bo, what was impressive about that drive was it was 12 running plays.
Yeah, you love how the Mavs responded on that particular series. You know, just had some crazy stuff going right before that. You had a long screen pass. It seemed like Coach Williams just kind of wanted to settle the guys down, say, okay, let's get back to our bread and butter. Let's get back to what we do best, and that's running the football straight at them. Excellent job on that series.
Springdale takes over at their own 18-yard line, and in the first half, it seemed like it was a lot of quick strikes for scores. Well, you had the 12-play drive by Southside. Well, Springdale answers with a 12-play drive of their own, culminating with a 1-yard touchdown run as they go 82 yards, a 1-yard touchdown run by Garrett Vaughn.
Yeah, it's really funny how that happens because it's almost like the two teams mirror each other. It's either 3 and outs back-to-back or really quick touchdown strikes back-to-back, and then all of a sudden Southside jumps up, has a really long scoring drive, and Springdale comes back and says, well, okay, if you can do that, we can do it too. And they did the exact same thing.
And then Southside takes over their next possession at their 27-yard line. First play of the drive, a fumble by Ricardo Savoy recovered by Springdale at the Southside 27-yard line, down 21-14 at the time. A big play in the ball game, but on second and 2 for Springdale, big Sean Rogers gets in the backfield and tackles Garrett Vaughn for a 7-yard loss. They go for it on fourth down, don't get it. Southside takes over. You're feeling pretty good right there, Bo. But then on the ensuing play, an interception by Christian Weiss. He returns it even further down the field, down at the Southside 18-yard line. Boy, things look grim right there.
Yeah, they do. Look like it was going to get out of hand for us. But, you know, going back to the Savoy fumble, it looked bad right there, but defense stepped up big. And you mentioned Sean Rogers. This kid, he's listed at 250s every bit of that. But, boy, can he move. Comes up with a big play, and then we get the ball back. And then, it's a cat and mouse game. It seems like they just wanted to mirror each other. We fumble, they turn it over, we intercept it, and then they intercept it.
And we get the ball back after the Mason Gregory interception. Bo, it was a thing, too, is you go to the locker room, it's almost like the defense telling the offense, hey, we're not going to lose this game. We're going to win this game. And the offense really responded in a big way as they take over after the Mason Gregory interception at their own 21-yard line. They go 4 plays, 79 yards. It's a 56-yard touchdown pass from Tay Gatewood to Tyrese Solomon. And, Bo, what was nice about the play was the ball a bit underthrown. The defender looked like he was lost out there. Tyrese works his way back to the ball, catches the ball, outraces him to the end zone.
Yeah, Tyrese, such a good receiver. He just has a nose for that football. He's got great hands. You know, he always seems to come up with the 50-50 balls. And on that one, yeah, he stopped and came back to the ball, and the receiver didn't. And so he was wide open, and he's not going to drop one of those balls. And once he got the ball in his hands, boy, he's hard to catch in a race to the end zone.
That tied the ball game up at 21, and then just maybe a bit shell-shocked, Springdale team takes the ball over at their 37-yard line. They run 2 plays, let the clock run out. We're at the half, tied up at 21. Be back with more of the Frank Road Furniture halftime report after this. This is Southside Maverick Football on Sprint 106.3. What caused it to get worse?
I don't know. I didn't move. Hey.
That's kind of like having a. It's kind of like having a TV. You having a
Yeah, some aluminum foil on it.
Yeah, we can. They've got 3 minutes, and then they'll have a warm-up period. Yes, we will. We'll do about 2 and then send it back. Welcome back to the Frank Roy Furniture Halftime Report. We're tied at 21 here at the half. And, Bo, as you look at just a few minutes away to start the second half, Dave, for Southside, you got to be happy coming back, tying the ball game up. Got to feel pretty good where you're at. But I think it's also a situation where you want to come out and establish something early.
Yeah, you're right. And I think what you said right before we went to break, Keith, the defense, they come out and made a statement with those 2 stops, and they said, hey, we're not going to lose this game. If it's we may win it for you, but we're not going to lose it for you. So we're going to put you in a position to be successful offense. So we're going to rely on you. You know, we've helped you up. Now you got to answer for us.
Exactly, and that's what they pretty much did. And hopefully in the second half they can come out and do the same thing, as Southside did a really good job of really kind of taking the run away. And what was kind of a bit surprising for me as far as Springdale goes was putting the ball up there late in the second half when they had a chance to run the football very well. They kind of changed their whole philosophy.
Yeah, I agree totally. I mean, you have your backup quarterback, no disrespect to Mr. Mueller, but he's not your number 1 guy. And if you run the ball, you have your number 1 running back who's very talented, over 1,000 yards on the year. To take it out of his hands and put it in the air, you got to kind of question what they're doing on that one.
Again, we're at the half, all tied up at 21. Be back with the start of the second half after this. It's in Southside Maverick football on Sprint 106.3. That thing's going to drive me. Go ahead and do, you can do 3 minutes. I'm going to catch a cold up here.
Right.
Welcome back to Gerald Williams Bulldog Stadium, all tied up at the half, 21-21, just about ready to start the second half. The Springdale Bulldogs will receive to start the second half, and as I look down the sidelines, Bo, it looks like Chop Sanders may go back in the ball game. He's down on the sideline, still has his pads on, may get back in there. That'll be a big boost for the Bulldogs here in the second half.
Yeah, we didn't call his name after he went out early in the ball game, and he's a difference maker for the Bulldogs. So you're right, and it's another kid. If he can play, he will. So we'll see what happens with him in the second half.
Again, Southside will kick off here. A nice ending to the first half by the Mavs, as it looked like it might get out of hand, but the defense stepping up big. Offense responds, tie this ball game up, and it's got to be again, to me, when I look at this, it's a situation where if Southside can respond to start the second half, get a hold, get some points, hey, we may be able to take this thing home.
Yeah, these first few minutes, I think, of this second half are going to be key, Keith. And I think, you're starting with your defense on the field. They were the better of the two units in the first half. They're playing with some momentum right now. They're playing with some fire. They can make some things happen. So hopefully they'll come up with a big stop, maybe a 3-and-out, give the ball back to our offense in good field position. And you're right. If we get a couple of good things to go right at the start of this first half, we may be able to close it out.
And this is interesting. Springdale actually lined up to go from right to left. They move them to the other side of the field. Coach Zach Clark's out on the field trying to get this worked out. But a good call by Southside to get that lined up because they want the win in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, that's exactly right. They wanted to keep the same thing they had in the second quarter, the Bulldogs.
And Southside will kick off to Springdale. Back deep will be Garrett Vaughn along with Marte Simon back deep for the Bulldogs. As Robles approaches the football, we're about ready to start the second half. Here's the kick. It's going to come down to Simon at the 15-yard line. Cuts across the field. Here comes the inside move. He's going to be hit and dropped at the 21-yard line. What a great job by Southside special teams again, getting down there. And guess who? Mason Gregory.
No surprise there. This Springdale kick return team, they have an odd return formation. They actually put three guys in the backfield to catch the ball, three back guys to return the kickoffs, and they don't set up the traditional wedge like you're normally used to seeing. And the Mavericks have done a good job on kick coverage tonight.
Be 1st and 10. They'll spot the ball at the Springdale 22-yard line. Again, Springdale has Mueller at quarterback, Vaughn in the backfield, big strong left this time. They'll bring Pounders in motion. It's a pitch to Pounders off the left side. Tries to get the corner, will be hit and dropped at the at the Springdale 30-yard line. Be a gain of 8 on the play. Brings up second down, 2nd and 2.
That was a good opening play of the half for the Bulldogs. They go right back to the man who did a lot of damage in the first half. Brock Pounders catches the ball on the sweep.
Pounders is an interesting story too, Bo. He was a all-state running back as a sophomore at Harbor. Now he plays wide receiver, do a little bit of everything for Springdale. Second down, 2nd and 2. Here's a handoff to Vaughn off the left side. We'll get across the 35, across the 40, across the 45-yard line for another first down for the Bulldogs.
Well, the Bulldogs, their offense has responded now. They're coming out, set the tone for the second half. So if you're the Southside defense right here, a couple of first downs by the offense, you need to step up, see if you can get off the field.
They're going to have to stop the run. Obviously, that's the key to the ball game right now, is stopping the run, because really Mueller's not been that big of a threat throwing the football as he looks to the sideline to get the play. 14 seconds on the play clock, 11:38 on the game clock. Mueller takes a snap. He wants to throw the ball, an inside pass, incomplete, dropped on the play, intended for Jaden Cornelius. Incomplete, brings up second down, 2nd and 10. And I don't understand the philosophy here is when you're able to run the football, you go to the passing game. I mean, I know one sets up the other, but it's not working so far for Springdale.
No, and the strange thing is, that was a little slant pass, wide open. Mueller hits him. Problem is they dropped the football, and we saw him have a couple drops in the first half.
Bring up second down, 2nd and 10 for the Bulldogs. Here's a handoff off the right side to Vaughn. He's got an opening there, and we're going to have a hold on the play as Vaughn crosses midfield, gets down to the Southside 48-yard line, and that grabbing and such has been going all day. I think they saw it that time.
Well, that was a WWE clothesline. We had a linebacker knifing in there, and one of the offensive line for Springdale just stuck his arm out and he yanked him down.
Yeah, and this is a no-brainer here on either 3rd and 2 or 2nd and 20. No doubt what they'll do here. And that's what you've got to do. You've got to put Will Schuster, the backup quarterback, in tough situations, and this is one right here, 2nd and 20.
Yeah, it is, and you got to kind of wonder what they're going to do because you're right, Springdale hasn't had much success in the air, so we'll see if they put it up now.
And they'll change formations as they bring Vaughn in the backfield, go strong left this time. Here's a snap. It's going to be an inside screen again. 2-pounders, has a hole, is going to be hit as he gets up to the to the Springdale 47-yard line. Will gain 12 on the play, brings up 3rd down, 3rd and 8 for the Bulldogs.
Well, they decided to go with the one passing play that they had some success with in the first half, and that's the screen. Ran it successfully twice, and then saw him with a pretty good gainer right there.
And that was number 97 in the ball game for Southside, Tavares Thomas, another sophomore, making the play for the Maverick defense. It'll be 3rd down, 3rd and 7 for the Bulldogs. They go twin set either side of the field. It's another inside screen, complete, 2-pounders. He's going to be hit. Not a nice tackle over there right at the 49-yard line. Guess who? Bennett Windale. It's either Windale or Mason Gregory.
That's right. Windale comes knifing in there, and if he doesn't make that play, it's a 1st down. Back-to-back screen plays dialed up by the Bulldogs. Looked like they were going to be able to convert, but credit Bennett Windale for making a 1st down saving tackle.
And it's the same guy, too. It's pounders on each one. So what you need to do, obviously, it's a simple process, but find him on 2nd, 3rd, and long.
Yeah, he's the guy they're going to go to, obviously.
This will be the first punt of the night for Springdale. As they get the punt off, it's going to land at the Southside 10. Will roll down towards the goal line. Let's see. They're going to spot it at about the 2-yard line. A nice punt by Springdale.
Yeah, it was. Springdale has the rugby-style running punt. He kind of runs out to the side and kicks it on the run. It looked like it was going to roll into the end zone and kind of broke to the right and rolled out of bounds right before it went into the end zone.
And we call this, though, the ball being where it's at. This is one of these nice 18-play, 98-yard drives.
You hope so. I mean, wow, what would that do? How would that change the momentum of this ball game if we're able to march down the field and score right here?
Again, be 1st and 10 for the Mavs. Their opening possession of the second half. 9:50 to go here in the 3rd quarter, all tied up at 21. Southside goes strong right this time with Bogner along with Savoy in the backfield. Here's a snap. Here's a handoff to Savoy. Gets to the 5. He's at the 10. He's at the 15. He's at the 20. He's at the 25, at the 27-yard line. Great run by Ricardo Savoy.
Well, that's how you start it right there. And I thought for a second when he turned the corner, had a lot of real estate. I thought it might be a one-play 98 drive, but Springdale with some closing speed able to limit the damage, but still a huge 1st down to get the Mavericks out of the shadow of their own goal line.
I noticed you had your stopwatch over there ready to start timing that play once you got to about the 25-yard line. Great run by Ricardo on 1st down, 1st and 10 Mavs on 27-yard line. Gatewood calls out signals. Takes a snap. Here's a handoff again to Savoy. Going to be hitting the backfield. There's Chop Sanders. Gets him back at the 25-yard line. Going to lose 2 on the play.
Chops gets up, flexing his muscles right there, showing the biceps. Made a big play. Not really a factor in the first half, but comes up big for the Bulldogs right there.
They'll bring up 2nd down, 2nd and 12 for the Mavs. Again, 9 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter, all tied up at 21. First possession of the second half for the Mavs. As Gatewood will call out signals, we'll have one back in the backfield. That's Savoy. They'll go twin set both sides of the field. Gatewood takes a snap. He's going to keep the ball up the middle. Will get across the 25 up to about the 20, actually about the 30-yard line. They're going to spot him just short of the 30, but he actually flipped over the pile for an extra maybe yard or two.
Yeah, there was a hole there, but it closed quickly, and it was Gatewood dropped back. It was the play that you saw him run successfully a couple times in the first half where they dropped back. It looked like he's going to pass, and he tucks it and keeps it. The defense closed pretty quickly on that one.
Bring up third down, 3rd and 7. Looks like they're going to come off the corner here for Springdale. Now Sanders backs off as Gatewood looks to the side to get the play. 8 seconds on the play clock. Southside goes twin set either side of the field. Here's a snap to Gatewood. Wants to throw the ball, steps up, throws the ball, going to be complete. That's to Colton McBride. He'll be about 2 yards short of the first down at the 35-yard line. Bo, that was a play where he had to go back to get the ball. Maybe if he catches it in stride, he gets the first down, but having to go back, can't get the first down.
Yeah, it was the curl route where you design it to catch the ball right at the down marker, and he has to come back for the football. Leaves him about 2 yards short.
Simon and Pounders will go back deep for Springdale. I'll stand back there on the 38-yard line as Adam Puckett checks in for the Mavs to kick the ball away. Here's a snap. It's a good snap. Here's a punt. It's a low-line drive punt that's going to hit, and looks like it's going to go inside the 35, inside the 30, down the 29-yard line. It almost looked like it touched a Bulldog on the back that time.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. There was a Springdale player right next to the ball when it kind of bounced straight up in the air, but I guess he was just far enough away and didn't touch him.
Be 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs. This will be their second possession of the second half. Again, we're all tied up at 21. And that was a good job by Southside, though, of getting the ball out there and getting the first down before they had to punt the ball.
Yeah, because, you know, when you're backed up that deep in your own territory, a lot of bad things can happen, but at least they flipped the field.
Mueller looks to the sideline to get the play, has Vaughn in the backfield. They'll go strong left this time. Twin set, wide side of the field. Here's a snap to Mueller. Wants to throw the ball, looks that way. Here comes the pressure. He gets away. He's going to tuck and run across the 35. Will get up to the close to the 40-yard line where he's brought down by Dakota Wareham. It will be a first down for Springdale at the 40-yard line.
Mueller's not the most fleet-of-foot guy, but he's a capable runner. Thing about it is, though, we did see him fumble in the first half. So anytime you get a tall, lanky quarterback running like that, there's a chance the ball might hit the turf.
And that's where kind of a difference is between him and Grant Allen. Allen was a very good runner for Harbor last year and for Springdale this year. Here's a handoff to Vaughn. Boy, he's hitting the backfield and going to get back to the 40-yard line. A great job by Landon Chafee making the play for the Southside defense.
Well, 21 has just been all over the field. That guy, he plays with a high motor. He is going to be good for the Mavs for a long time, Keith.
They'll bring up second down. They'll give him a yard on the play. Makes it second down, 2nd and 9 as Springdale again looks to the sideline to get the play. And, Bo, what's impressive, they moved Chafee to the middle. That may be his natural position. Obviously he can't play it this year because of Darren Davenport, but getting in there because of an injury. Here's a snap to Mueller. Wants to throw the ball. They're going to set another screen up. Here comes the pressure. He's going to be hit and dropped at the 45-yard line. Making the play is Travis Chafee along with Dakota Wareham. It'll bring up 3rd down, 3rd and 5 for the Bulldogs.
And it was a good job by Jalen Coleman, too, from the corner position, knifing in, really forcing the screen to go further inside than I think the running back wanted to go.
Big play here for the Maverick defense. 3rd down, 3rd and 4 at the Springdale 45-yard line as Will Mueller calls out signals. Here's a snap. He's going to hand the ball off to Vaughn off the left side. He's going to be hit and dropped at the 46-yard line. What a great job. And give credit again to Sean Rogers. Had actually overrun the play, reaches back, grabs him by the shoulder pad, gets him down.
Yeah, he is so tough. He's a talented kid.
And that'll force another punt as Pounders will check in to punt the ball away. And one thing I will say, Bo, I don't think you have to worry about Southside with Pounders back there punting the ball after what happened last week. They're going to make sure the ball's punted before they break.
Yeah, you want to keep your eye in that backfield for sure.
Here's a snap to Pounders. He will get the punt off. Here's his punt. It's going to go out of bounds, and not a very good punt. And let's see where the spot's going to be, as not a very good spot either, because it looked like it went out about the 35. They're going to spot it back at the 31-yard line.
Yeah, the Bulldogs going to get an extra couple of yards there, but what a difference. The two punts, the last one, such a good punt that rolled down to the 2-yard line. This one kind of came off wobbly. It was spinning horizontally as it went out of bounds.
And again, Southside will take over with 5:09 to go here in the third quarter, all tied up at 21. And again, Bo, you're in a position now. You started your first drive on your own 2-yard line. This time you'll start your 31-yard line. So really good field position for Southside if they can control the football.
Yeah, and this third quarter's going by so far. No scores, just waiting for one of these teams to do something. Let's hope it's the Mavs.
Here's a snap. Here's a keeper off the right side by Gatewood. Will knife his way forward close to the 35-yard line, just a bit short. Brings up second down and about 7 for the Mavs.
Well, it was a good play to start off the drive. I think you get positive yardage. You stay on schedule. 2nd and 7 here. You can run a lot of different things. We'll see if they continue to keep it on the ground or if they take a chance down the field.
It appears like, too, as you watch the game, too, the wind and the conditions, the cold, have really kind of taken away the passing game, and really both teams trying to establish a run now. Again, 2nd down, 2nd and 7, strong right for the Mavs. Here's a snap. Here's a handoff to Savoy. Savoy will fight his way up to the 40-yard line. Will bring up 3rd down, 3rd and 1 for the Mavs.
Well, I like that play because you get Savoy kind of running east and west, get a couple of steps to get up to speed, and then the ball's handed off tackle, and that big offensive line of the Mavs on that right side gets a huge push over there for Savoy. Yeah,
big Keith Turner over there. We don't give a lot of these guys the credit that we should, but he has just had an excellent season for Southside all year. Again, 3rd down, 3rd and 1, big play here for the Mav offense. As they bring a man in motion, here's a snap, here's a handoff to Savoy. Has the first down as he's going to fight his way across the 45 up to the 46-yard line. And again, a great job by the offensive line. It's no contact, 2 or 3 yards down the field.
That's right, and a good job running the football because when there was contact, Savoy kept moving and fell forward for another 3 yards.
And that's when he's at his best. When he gets forward, he gets those legs moving. He always keeps the legs moving.
That's right. And he's got such a strong lower body. I mean, he's a north-south runner.
Be 1st and 10 for the Mavs at their own 45-yard line. They'll go trip set to the left of Gatewood. Here's a snap. Here's a fumble by Savoy on the play, and it's going to be recovered by Springdale. And picked up now by Springdale, running it back inside the 20, inside the 15-yard line.
What happened on that play, Keith? You had your running back, after he fumbled the ball, was just sat there and looked at it. He didn't jump on the pile or nothing. The Springdale guy was able to pick the ball up and then take off running. It almost looked like he was confused, Keith.
Well, that not a real good effort. That's about all I can say on that.
That play was kind of busted from the get-go. It was a replay, and the ball kind of hung up in his gut a little bit too long. It didn't look like the quarterback and running back knew which one really wanted to take the football.
Be 1st and goal for Springdale. And you're right, Bo. Southside's lucky it wasn't run back for a touchdown as Mueller calls out signals, takes the snap, hands the ball off to Vaughn. He's going to get inside the 5 down to the Southside 3-yard line.
Well, tight ball games. I mean, turnovers and penalties. Been a pretty clean game penalty-wise for the Mavs, for both teams, really. But turnovers deadly in games like this.
2nd and goal. Here's a snap, handoff to Vaughn off the right side. Will cut it back inside. Going to be hit and works his way down to the goal line. Touchdown.
Well, I'll tell you what, you got to feel for the defense right there. They were fighting, scrapping hard, trying to get him out of the end zone. Just couldn't do it.
2-play, 10-yard drive for Springdale following the 3rd Southside turnover. Springdale now leads 27-21, 2:48 to go here in the 3rd quarter, pending the extra point. Checking in for the extra point will be Barrasso. Nelson Barrasso will attempt the extra point. Ball is down. Your kick is up. Kick is good. 2:48 to go here. Springdale now leads 28-21. Be back with a Bulldog kickoff after this. This is Southside Maverick football on Spirit 106.3. Welcome back to action. That was a two-play 10-yard drive for Springdale following the second Ricardo Savoy fumble, a 3-yard touchdown run by the running back Garrett Vaughn, and now Springdale leads 28-21 as Nelson Barrasso checks in again to kick the ball off for Springdale. Bo, it's been a game of turnovers for Southside. You cannot win football games with 3 turnovers, and you're exactly right on the play. The ball's landing on the ground, and you know, I don't know what was happening on the play, what was going on, but it was not a very good effort. And here's the kick that is going to be fielded by Jay Washington at the 40-yard line. What a good return by Washington at the 42-yard line.
Yeah, it almost looked identical to the return he had in the first half. Caught the ball on the run and streaking down the sideline. Looks like if he makes a man or two miss, he's taking it to the house.
And Southside will have 1st and 10 at their own 42-yard line. Good field position to Bo. That was a tough play, too, for the fact that we had 2nd and 1 right there, and you had a mix-up in the backfield. And I don't know if one thought the other was going to pick the ball up, but they both looked at it and left it laying there, and an aggressive Springdale team took the ball away. Be 1st and 10 for the Mavs at their own 42-yard line. Gatewood calls out signals. Southside goes stack set wide side of the field. Now they bring a man in motion. That's Bogner. Here's a snap to Gatewood. It's a pass complete to Tyree Solomon at the 45-yard line. Goes forward to about the 48-yard line. Will be a gain of 6 on the play. Brings up 2nd down, 2nd and 4. Tyrese has had a big ball game tonight for Southside.
Yes, he has, and it was good blocking out in front of Tyrese there by Nathan Bogner. They brought him in motion across the field, threw it out to Tyrese, and you had the lead blocker springing Tyrese for a 7-yard gain.
That's what you got to do on 1st down. It'll be 2nd down, 2nd and 3 for the Mavs at their own 48-yard line, trailing by 7, 28-21 here in the 3rd quarter. Here's a snap handoff to Savoy. Savoy will fall forward to about the not quite midfield. We'll bring up 3rd down, 3rd and 2 for the Mavs. And we've got an injured Maverick on the play. That is number 58 for Southside, injured on the play. You know, that Sean Ottman is down, and with that injury, let's go ahead and take a timeout. You're some Southside Maverick football on Spirit 106.3. Probably just do one. How many we got? Ottman's able to go off under his own power. Hopefully he'll get back in the ball game for Southside. It will be 3rd down, 3rd and 2 for the Mavs, just short of midfield. They've got to get to the Springdale 48-yard line, 1:49 to go here, 3rd quarter. Springdale leads 28-21. As Gatewood along the backfield, they'll go strong left this time. Here's a keeper by Gatewood off the right side, is going to fall down at the 49, going to be just a tad short of the 1st down, and Ottman going to check back into the ball game for Southside. Good to see Sean Ottman coming back in the game.
Yeah, it is. Once again, you had Bogner as your lead blocker on the play, and a big hole created by the offensive line. I thought Gatewood was going to make that 1st down easy, and he kind of slipped and fell right in the hole.
Big play here for the Southside offense as they trail 28-21. Gatewood looks to the sideline to get the play. There is 13 seconds on the play clock. Again, Southside will go with Savoy in the backfield. Here's a snap. Here's a keeper by Gatewood off the side. He's going to get the 1st down across the 48-yard line, and what a great individual effort by Southside. He was wrapped up back at their own 49-yard line. Making the play defensively is Trey Tolbert, but what a great job by Tay Gatewood. And we talk about will to try to win ball games. Gatewood has had that all year, as well as the defense tonight.
That was an absolute, what a play by Tay Gatewood. That play was blown up. He should have lost 2 yards on that play, and he just, absolute pure determination, drug his defender across the 1st down marker.
The 1st and 10, they'll spot the ball at the 47-yard line, got it by a whole yard. Southside will go strong right this time. 1 receiver each side of the field, 2 tight end formation. Here's a pass play by Gatewood. Throws the ball down the field, gets the ball incomplete, intended for Solomon. We've got a flag on the play, maybe a hold on the Mavs.
Yeah, I don't think that one was ever going to have a chance. That was an almost immediate hold by the Mavericks and a flag thrown by the official. And the unfortunate thing was it was an excellent fake by Gatewood. He kind of tucked the ball after he handed it off and looked like he confused everybody on the Springdale side of the football, but a penalty and really an overthrow negated that play.
Yeah, and this one's going to hurt because it's going to bring the ball back to the 38-yard line. That's going to be a 14-yard penalty. And as quick as that flag came in, there's no way he could have been back that far. Yeah,
Your offensive lineman would have
yeah.
had to run back 8 yards to get that call. I don't understand that one. That should have been up at the line of scrimmage.
First down, 1st and 24 for the Mavs. Scoreboard's got 1st and 19, but my yardage count's 24 at the Southside 38-yard line. Gatewood looks to throw, throws the ball incomplete, had his receiver open. That was Colton McBride at the 45-yard line. The ball goes incomplete. We'll bring up 2nd down, 2nd and 24.
Well, McBride on a short crossing route had found a little open spot in that zone, but the ball was thrown behind him. But, you know, even if you make that pass completion, you get 5 yards of your 24 back. It doesn't really help you a whole lot.
They'll bring up 2nd down, 2nd and 24.
Well, what do you have dialed up for 2nd and 24,
Well,
Keith?
you've got to get at least 12 of it back. Give your chance a makeable 3rd down play here as Gatewood calls out signals. Trip set wide side of the field. Here's a handoff to Savoy. We'll cross the 40 up to the 42-yard line. We'll bring up 3rd down and
just call it a mile.
Yeah, but it's a play where, yeah, you say you run the ball, and I'm not sure if that's going to get a lot of yardage back, but it's almost a situation where they know what's coming. You hope you can surprise them there.
Yeah.
But Springdale was ready for it.
Yeah, I almost wish they would try to run it on 1st down, maybe have a little more success instead of the incomplete pass, set up something, but we'll see what happens on 3rd down here.
And it looks like Southside's going to let the clock run out, and at the end of 3 quarters, Southside trails 28-21. Be back with the start of the 4th quarter after this. It's the Southside Maverick Football on Sprint 106.3. I'll go ahead and do 2. Welcome back to action as we start the 4th quarter. Southside will have the ball on their own 42-yard line, 3rd down, 3rd and 22 as they trail 28-21 to start the 4th quarter. And, Bo, it's got to be a frustrating 3rd quarter for Southside in the fact that the defense, again, playing well in the 3rd quarter, but you have an untimely turnover. You give great field position to Springdale. They have 10 yards to go to take the lead. And really Southside offensively has not done a lot here in the 2nd half, just kind of like last week against Northside.
Well, yeah, it seems like kind of both teams bogged down in that 3rd quarter, and really the turnover is the only thing that we saw that led to the difference in the ball game. Neither one of the offenses could do anything. And
then a big penalty here, a holding penalty on Southside has them in a long situation here. Here's a snap to Gatewood, wants to throw the ball. We'll throw the ball down the field. It's going to be complete to Colton McBride. Has a 1st down. He gets a terrible spot. A terrible spot at the 39-yard line.
I have to agree with you. He was right at the sticks when he caught it, maybe a yard behind the sticks, stuck the ball out where his forward momentum was stopped, probably across the line. You know, at worst, you're maybe a half a yard from the marker. They've got him spotted 2 yards from the marker.
It was right at the marker where he caught the ball, and the official was not in position to make the call, Bo. That was the other distressing thing about that, and that's a big play for Southside. Let's mark that one down, see where that goes. But nonetheless, a great play by Gatewood and McBride to give them a chance here. As Gatewood calls out signals, takes a snap, a handoff to Savoy up the middle. Is going to have the 1st down across the 35, works his way down to the 30. A little bit of face mask action there, but not called. It'll be inside the 30.
Good job by Ricardo Savoy, running tough. Needed a couple yards and got 4 or 5 out of it. And got to credit these Mavericks for staying with it, keep fighting this offense, looking at 3rd and 20 and able to convert.
Be 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line for Southside. Is now you got to finish this drive. Again, Southside down 28-21. It'll be 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line for the Mavs. Gatewood calls out signals. Takes a snap. Here's a Handoff to Savoy off the left side. He's at the 25. He cuts inside the 20. Oh, one step away, is knocked down at about landed at the 16, be marked back to the 18.
Wow, touchdown saving shoestring tackle there by Stoney White. And if he doesn't make that play, Savoy walks into the end zone.
Be 1st and 10 for the Mavs, and give credit to this offensive line picking it up here on this drive, as Southside will have 1st and 10 at the 18-yard line.
You're right, Keith. Credit to the offensive line. They're playing tough. They're blocking hard. They've got their heads up down there. They know they're in this ball game.
Southside goes strong left this time. They'll bring Bogner right to left, back to left. Here's a snap to a handoff to Savoy. He cuts inside the 15. He's at the 10, down to about the 8, where Chop Sanders gets him at about the 8, maybe the 7-yard line. Be 1st and goal. No, it'll be maybe just a bit short of first down. They'll spot him back at about the 9.
What an impressive drive this Maverick offense is putting together right now. Fumbled it last time, led to a Springdale touchdown. Now they're responding. They have to respond to backs against the wall, and the offense is doing a good job right now.
And give credit the big play to Colton McBride, the 20-yard pass on 3rd and 22. Had the first down, but gets marked back, but then Savoy gets a first down. Won't be denied on that. It'll be 2nd down, 2nd and 1, as Gatewood works in the backfield by himself. Takes a snap. He's going to keep the ball off the left side, cuts it back inside. Now we've got another flag.
Yeah, looks like it's going to be another hold.
And, but I've got a question. The holding calls, they're starting to call holding calls on Southside, and we've seen grabs all night by Springdale. And
Keith, you know how it is in Northwest Arkansas.
I do, but I'm not going to say.
We saw it last year in the playoffs, Keith, against Fayetteville, and I'm not, I don't want to say anything either, but you're just going to, know where you're at.
But what you're seeing is, and maybe I am getting on the refs a little bit, but the fact is I'm seeing a lot of reach. When you extend your hand and you grab a guy's shoulder pad, or that's an easy hold call, and now we're seeing several hold calls that we haven't seen.
Well, you're right. In the first half, we saw a couple that went uncalled. And, I don't necessarily mind that if it's the same on both sides. If you're not going to call it on one side, don't call it on the other side.
Exactly.
The players know where they stand. They can adjust. But don't start calling it halfway through the second half.
We 2nd down, 2nd and 9 for Southside. Looks like Springdale wants to maybe come with some pressure, and now we've got a flag on the play. Looks like it may be I'm thinking maybe Chop Sanders may have jumped in the neutral zone.
Sure did. You're right, Keith. So they can at least give 5 of it back to us.
Chops hops in the neutral zone.
How long have you been waiting to use that one?
I just thought it up.
It's cold up here in the booth,
exactly.
ladies and gentlemen.
Again, 2nd down. Be 2nd down and 4 for Southside at the Springdale 11-yard line, trailing 28-21. Here's a keeper by Gatewood off the left side, going to be hit and dropped for no gain.
Well, I'll tell you what, we saw him run this play in the first half for a big gain. It was the one where they kind of fake Savoy on a little pitch play. Gatewood pulls it back and turns it upfield. That time the Springdale defense read it well. They were ready for it.
Be 3rd and 5. They'll spot the ball at the Springdale 13-yard line. And both Southside's had to overcome 2 holding penalties on this drive. And again, on the big play right here will be 3rd down, 3rd and 5. They got 3rd and 4 on the scoreboard. I'm going 3rd and 5. As Bogner will line up left here. Here's a snap. Gatewood wants to throw, throws the ball complete. That's Tyree Solomon at the 5, will be run out of bounds at the 4-yard line. And give credit again to the offensive line, Bo. What they really wanted to do was, it looked like a swing pass out to Savoy. He's covered on the play. The O-line does a great job of protection, giving Tyree Solomon a chance to run across the field.
You're right. It was the check down receiver, Tyrese, on kind of a long delay crossing route, and Gatewood just stands up clean, nobody even around him as he makes that throw.
Be 1st and goal at the 4-yard line for the Mavs. Gatewood takes a snap. Here's a handoff to Savoy up the middle. Will fight his way down to the goal line. Touchdown, Southside.
Well, can't say enough about this offensive line, how well they played on that particular series. Now we got a little extracurricular activity by one of the Mavs, but his teammate Colt McBride comes over there and pushes him out of the way, out of the Springdale player's face. So a little bit chippy, but nothing called, so that's good right there.
Southside now down 28-27, pending the extra point. And boy, what an impressive drive. That was a 9-play drive for the Mavs, 58 yards, but You go back to the completion to Colton McBride on 3rd and 22, getting 20 yards back, giving a very makeable 4th down really was the key to this drive.
Yeah, that was the play of the game. It was a good throw into coverage by Gatewood, very accurate, and a huge catch by McBride.
Connor Robles will attempt the extra point. Ball is down. Kick is up. Your kick is good. 8:36 to go here in the ball game. All tied up at 28. Be back with the Mav kickoff after this. This is Southside Maverick football on Spirit 106.3. I'm sorry, dude, but that play right here was.
Yeah, you're right. That was a good ball. Every time you talk to me, I have to let go of my cord.
Welcome back. That was a 9-play drive for the Mavericks, 58 yards, a 4-yard touchdown run by Ricardo Savoy-Bow, and they overcame 2 big holding penalties on the drive to get the tying points, and now hopefully your defense can step up and get a stop here. There's 8:36 to go here in the ball game, all tied up at 28.
Yeah, just a great job by the offense, especially the offensive line, to respond on that series.
Robles will kick off for Southside's going to kick the ball, and it's going to go in the end zone for a touchback. And that's one area that we get critical of sometimes, but special teams have played well tonight.
Yeah, we've talked about it in the pregame. Mistakes throughout the year in the special team game have hurt the Mavs. So far this game, knock on wood, been pretty clean in the special teams for the Mavericks.
We need a turnover. 3-1 right now. It's in favor of Springdale. Let's kind of bring that a little closer, get us a turnover, get some points. And
well, that's just what the doctor ordered, a big play, a big turnover for the defense right now. As this game, drags on, we're looking to just the second half of this fourth quarter. That would be huge right now.
Looks like Springdale's going to spread out the formation. Now they bring Vaughn in the backfield. Here's a snap, a handoff off the right side too. Vaughn cuts it back up the middle of the field. We'll get up to about the 23-yard line where Landon Chafee, along with Sean Rogers and Dakota Wareham, make the play for the Southside defense. Brings up 2nd down, 2nd and 7 for the Bulldogs.
And the Bulldogs showing some poise right here. No panic, sticking to their game plan, keeping the ball on the ground.
Here's a handoff. This is Parchman on the handoff. Gets to the 25, will be hit and dropped at the 27-yard line. And that was Darryl Parchman on the carry. And Bowie had, it looked like some open room there, but he kind of danced up there just a bit. Southside recovers and holds him short of the 1st down.
I agree. He was kind of tiptoeing up toward the line right there. You got to kind of lower the shoulder pads and go.
They'll bring up 3rd down as Southside tries to get set on the defense. Mueller looks to the sidelines to get the play. There is 17 seconds on the play clock. Here's a snap. Here's a handoff to Vaughn. Vaughn is hit in the backfield and dropped back at the 25-yard line. Making the play for the Southside defense, the 2 brothers, Travis and Landon Chafee, on the play for the Southside defense.
That was a big hit right there.
That's your middle linebacker right there.
Landon Chafee, he is having a statement game, filling in for Darren Davenport. And you said it earlier, I think moving to the middle linebacker position is really going to be the natural position for him going forward.
Well, he's showing that, and I think with Wareham and Lyles on the outside, you throw in a Bailey Proctor in there too. You've got some very good linebackers here for the next 3 years. Here's a snap to the punter. Pounders punts the ball away. It's going to hit, and we'll go inside. And it was touched, and let's see where they're going to spot it. It was actually touched back there, and I don't think anybody saw it.
No, we have a lot better vantage point up here, I know, but there's 5 Springdale players running with the football, and it looked like it was kicked and came shooting out of there.
Yeah, now they're going to mark it back.
Okay,
here we go.
Somebody in stripes did see it. Okay, finally.
Well, actually, they're going to bring it back up here. It was touched way back up the field, back at the 47-yard line. Well, that's a break for the Mavericks.
Yeah, it is. Sets them up in great field position. And the Bulldogs, they were about to get an extra 13, 14 yards out of that.
Well, if you can do that, I'd keep kicking it down the field.
Right.
Do what you got to do. 1st and 10 for Southside, tied up at 28. 6:46 to go here in the ball game. Big series here for the Mavs. Remember, whenever this ball game gets a trip to North Little Rock next week to take on the #1 ranked North Little Rock Charging Wildcats, Here's a snap. Here's a quick slant pass out to Tyree Solomon. Boy, he's going to be hit. And, Bo, what you talked about, that was a nice defensive play over there. Making the play for the Bulldogs is Jonathan Lopez, but you had Bogner out there. He just missed a block.
Yeah, and this is a kid who's been very solid as your lead blocker, both running and in passing situations like that, but not able to make the play right there.
Brings up second down, 2nd and 12 for the Mavs. The ball will be spotted at their own 45-yard line. We've got 6:19 to go here in the ball game, all tied up at 28.
Well, 6 minutes left, Keith. If you can move the ball, eat up a little clock, punch it in the end zone right here, you got a good chance of winning this ball game.
Kind of like the Cabot game earlier in the year. Here's a snap. Here's a handoff to Savoy off the right side. Has an open hole. He's across midfield. Will work his way down to about the 47-yard line where he's shoestring tackled over there. Gabe Bacao makes the play defensively. We bring up 3rd down, 3rd and 4. And twice tonight we've seen shoestring tackles on Savoy, which maybe would have been big plays for Southside.
Yeah, you're right. He hit the hole, and there was a big hole. Once again, credit to the offensive line. But, man, he shot through that hole and looked like it was going to be a big play.
But it's a very makeable 3rd down now, as that would be a gain of 8 on the play. It'll be 3rd down, 3rd and 4 for the Mavs. As Southside goes strong right this time with Savoy in the backfield along with Bogner. Gatewood takes a snap, looks to throw the ball, throws the ball over the middle, has a wide open receiver. That's Schwartz inside the 30-yard line down to the Southside 29. He fumbles the ball away. Looked like he was on the ground, but
cannot do it, Keith. You just have to put both hands on the football and hang on to it all the way to the ground.
I think he did, though. I think he hit the ground and fumbled the ball, but they didn't see it. Simple as that.
You see the Maverick offense staying on the field.
Yeah, they're going to get the ball to Southside. Someone did see it, and
good.
we've got an injured Bulldog on the play, and let's go ahead and take a timeout. It's Southside Maverick football on Spirit 106.3. Do a minute.
There must be one official that knows that's actually paying attention. I think he saved us twice.
I think we go back to a couple of. Gabe Bacco was the injured Bulldog on the play. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Mavs at the 29-yard line. Here's a snap. Gatewood looks to throw the ball, throws the ball down the middle of the field for an open receiver. Incomplete. Threw it into double coverage. The ball was intended for Colton McBride. We'll bring up 2nd down, 2nd and 10. Bo, I like that call. You've got the tall receiver, the ball just a bit overthrown.
Yeah, and you got a McBride running the post route, and he was open for just maybe a split second. You had a safety over the top and a corner underneath, and it was actually a good throw by Gatewood. It was a little high. I think if it had just taken just a little bit off of it, maybe McBride comes up with that for the touchdown.
That's kind of been the passing game tonight for the most part, has been with that hard football. It's been hard to really be connecting tonight, and that's what you saw right there. Bring up 2nd down, 2nd and 10 for the Mavs. 5:07 to go here, all tied up at 28. Gatewood calls out signals. Southside goes strong right this time. Now they bring McBride in motion. Here's a handoff to Savoy. We'll get down to about the 26-yard line. It'll be a gain of 3 on the play. Brings up 3rd down, 3rd and 7 for the Mavs.
That's kind of interesting. They brought McBride in motion and faked the jet sweep with him. We've not seen that a lot this year.
It's getting a bit chippy out there, too.
Yeah, it is. You see some John. Both of these teams know that their season could be over and got 4 minutes left in this ball game, coming down to the wire, and it's been a back and forth ball game. Neither one of these teams is going to let it. They're not going to lay down. They're going to keep fighting.
Big 3rd down here play for Southside. They'll go twin sets either side of the field. It looks like they may come with a blitz this time. Here comes the blitz. A quick pass out to Savoy at the 25. Cuts it inside to about the 20. Should have a 1st down, and Give credit to Colton McBride off that corner, blocks the corner, lets Savoy cut back inside, and looks like it may be just a bit short.
It's going to be about a yard short, but you're right. Colton McBride there making the block. And give credit to your quarterback. He was hit almost immediately. The blitz came, and no one picked up the middle linebacker streaking straight through the middle of the line, and he gets the ball out so quickly to Savoy.
Yeah, great read, too. A nice read when he saw the blitz coming, and it'll be, again, 4th down, 4th and 1 for the Mavs. Gatewood calls out signals. Waits on the snap. Here's a snap. He's going to keep the ball this time. We'll get a first down inside the 15 to the 10. 5. Touchdown, Southside.
What a play by Tay Gatewood, and I love the play call. You need 1 yard, so you dial up your superstar quarterback who has been so good for you for the past really 3 years as a starter. He's the most experienced guy you got on that side of the football, and just, big players, we talked about it, make big plays, and Tay Gatewood made one right there.
Southside now leads 34-28. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Bo, but I think that's the first lead of the night for the Mavericks.
Yeah, you're right. It seems like we've been fighting from behind. We tie it, they get ahead, we tie it again. There's been lots of ties, but I think it's the first time the Mavericks have been on top.
Connor Robles will check in for the extra point attempt. Big extra point here for Southside. Sheets on the hole. Ball is down. Kick is up. Kick is good. 3:36 to go here in the ball game. Southside now leads 35-28. Be back with the Maverick kickoff after this. This is Southside Maverick football on Spirit 106.3. The good thing is maybe we can force them to pass it now and get them. Welcome back to action. There was a 7-play, 53-yard drive for the Mavs, an 18-yard touchdown run by Tay Gatewood on 4th and 1 to put Southside ahead 35-28, 3:36 to go here in the ball game. Connor Robles will kick off for the Mavs. And we were talking at break, Bo, the fact that now Springdale may be put in a passing situation, which may be good for the Mavs.
Yeah, it's 3.5 minutes to go, so they're going to have to show a little bit of urgency. We'll see what happens. And
the ball is tipped and going to go out of bounds at the 7-yard line, and what a big mistake for Springdale. They'll start this drive through 7-yard line. That was Daryl Parchman back there. It took a funny bounce and probably would have went out of bounds, would have been good field position. Nonetheless, he touches the football out of bounds. It'll be 1st and 10 for Springdale. What a big break for the Mavs.
Yeah, it is. It gives them an extra long field, and you're right. I think if he lets that one go, it probably goes out of bounds. At worst, it rolls down and goes into the end zone. Instead, it sets up a good scenario. Long field already. The Bulldogs are going to have to be in a hurry, so this makes it even worse on them.
Be 1st and 10 if they're on the 7-yard line. Here's a snap to Mueller, who wants to throw the football, looks down the field, will throw a pass, going to be complete at the 10-yard line. Going to be chased down and run out of bounds by Eli Lyles at the 20-yard line. On the catch is Jason Cornelius for the first down.
Well, with 3.5 minutes left, there's no need to panic for the Bulldogs, but you just got to end 3 timeouts, but you do going to have to be efficient as this series goes on.
Be 1st and 10 at the 21-yard line. Again, Mueller calls out signals. You're right, Bo. They've got plenty of time here. They look to throw the ball down the field as it's going to be a deep pass for Vaughn. Vaughn's going to come back and catch it at the 47-yard line. On the coverage for Southside, or Dakota Wareham along with Bennett Windell will be a first down, and 2 plays, 40 yards.
Yeah, and got behind the Maverick defender right there. Normally you would have one of your cornerbacks, I think, in coverage, but Jalen Coleman, I don't know if there was a mix-up or what, but you had a linebacker on one of their speedier receivers.
Here's a snap. Again, Mueller wants to throw the ball, looks down the field, is going to run, has an open field, now throws it, and cross the line of scrimmage on the play. Should be a penalty, but
well, I'm not sure it didn't go backwards. It almost looked like a lateral. That may be what they rule it here.
I don't think they saw it.
Well,
because they're going to move it up now. Actually, it was back at the 49-yard line. They're going to talk about he was across the line of scrimmage. He was at the side judge on the far field, that's where he was at when he threw the football, but didn't see it.
Well, I mean, he was definitely across the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, and they gave him a 1 yard gain on the play. Yeah, I guess it was a backwards pass. Here's a snap. Here's a handoff to Vaughn. Vaughn's going to get to the Southside 41-yard line. We'll bring up third down, third and about 3.
Well, you got to give the Bulldogs credit, deep in their own territory.
Exactly.
They're responding, putting together a nice drive. See if the Mavericks can step up. It's going to be on the shoulders of the defense to win this ball game if they can keep the Bulldogs out of the end zone.
Again, third down, third and 3. Mueller calls out signals, takes a snap. Will hand the ball off to Vaughn again. He's hit in the backfield, driven back, and going to be pulled back as Cole Altus back there for the Southside defense will bring up fourth down, fourth and about 4.
There was a huge push in the interior of that D-line for the Mavs, and there was nowhere for Vaughn to go, and he actually ran into the back of his offensive lineman who was getting shoved back by a defender.
And Springdale's going to take a timeout. With that timeout, we'll take one, too. It's the Southside Maverick football on Springdale 106.3. I'll just do one. Yeah, and then you step back. The side judge, he's one blowing everything. Welcome back to action. We've got 2:16 to go here in the ball game. Southside leads 35-28. It'll be fourth down, fourth and 3 for the Bulldogs at the Southside 47-yard line. Will Mueller calls out signals, takes a snap. He wants to throw the football. Still wants to throw it. Going to throw it complete, and it's incomplete over there. Would have been. I don't think he would have had the first down anyway, Bo.
He dropped it, but I think even if he catches that ball, he's tackled immediately, and he's a yard short. So defense steps up big for the Mavericks. You see the white and blue over there celebrating on the far sideline. I think they know they've got 2 minutes left before they go to the second round of the playoffs.
Well, Bo, you've still got to get a first down or two. Springdale 2 timeouts, so Southside may be able to get it down to a minute and a half. But if you can get a first down here, you can probably ice the game.
Yeah, you got to get at least one first down really to seal it. But yeah, you expect them to keep it on the ground, eat up some clock right here.
As Gatewood calls out signals. Waits on the snap. Here's a snap. Here's a handoff to Savoy. He's going to be hitting the backfield. Going to lose yardage back to the 43-yard line. As Springdale going to let the clock run down. We're down to 2 minutes on the clock. And 23 seconds on the play clock. So, Bo, they can run it down to about a minute and a half. I'm just a bit surprised that Springdale didn't use a timeout there. Now, they will, obviously, on these next 2 plays.
Mm-hmm.
Southside will let the clock run down, probably snap it with maybe 1 on the clock. It'll be second down, second and 12. Southside leads 35-28. 2-1. Here's a snap. Gatewood's going to keep it this time. We'll get across midfield up to the Springdale 48-yard line. What a nice run by Tay Gatewood as Springdale's going to take a timeout. Let's go ahead and keep it here, Bo. It's a big play for Southside as they'll spot the ball at the Springdale 49-yard line. And now the referee the side judge having a bad time here. He actually credits Southside with the timeout. And I don't think Southside took the timeout.
No, I do not think so. He pointed our direction, but surely someone's paying attention to that as they all the guys in stripes start writing down on their little tablets. But yeah, we'll see if we can. You got one play to make 5 yards. If we can make a big third down conversion right here, the game's probably over, Keith. But even if we don't make it, you're right here at the middle of the field. You get a punt, get it down. Going to give them a really long field to go with about a minute left.
Exactly. And credit the defense stepping up now. Also credit Springdale from coming out from this shallow low goal line. But, again, the defense stepping up big tonight. The defense has just played. I go back to say the fact the defense is saying, hey, we're going to win this game.
Exactly. They're going to put it on our shoulders, and when you need us to step up, we're going to.
Be third down, third and 5 for Southside as Gatewood waits on the snap. Here's a snap too. Gatewood keeps it off the right side, is going to drive forward. First down, Southside.
What a play. And Keith, I mean, we're going to talk about our players in the game in a minute, but man, the whole offensive line, how can you not just admire what these guys are doing? They pushed the defenders back for Springdale 3, 4, 5 yards on that play.
Exactly. And, yeah, your offensive line is just really controlled here in the second half. What a great job. And they've still got 2 timeouts for Springdale up there, and I think they've used, they're down to 1 now, and they're going to let the clock run. Southside going to escape here with a victory. What a good game tonight, though, Bo. And if I'm talking to Coach, the big thing about this is, every game you can win in the playoffs just makes you one game better for next year.
Yeah, especially with the number of sophomores that the Mavericks have. This kind of experience is just priceless.
And we've got another flag on the play. I believe it's going to be a delay of game on the Mavs, as we're down to 1:04 on the clock. Yeah, you got good news and you got bad news. The good news is you win a game tonight, and the bad news is you have to go play North Little Rock. But that being said, you've played them once. You know what you've got to do to beat these guys. So I think you'll see Southside go down there and really give a good effort next week against North Little Rock.
Yeah, you're right. We know who they are. We know how good they are, and we know what kind of effort it's going to take to beat them. And, we've been to their stadium, so we're familiar with the surroundings. So we'll see what happens in the second round.
Here's a snap, and Gatewood's going to take a knee, and we're down to 1 minute on the clock. And looks like 25 seconds on the play clock. Again, that'll bring up second down, 2nd and 20 for the Mavs. I think the yardage right now is irrelevant, as they'll run the clock down. Springdale can stop the clock one more time, and I'd almost do it just because of the fact you got to snap the ball back in the pistol formation.
Exactly. You never know what's going to happen, especially with cold, slick football. You never know what could happen.
As Gatewood will look over the defense, takes a snap, he takes a knee, 25 seconds on the clock, and looks like Southside's just going to let the clock run out now. See if they're going to – they're going to let the clock run out. Southside's going to get out of here with a big 35-28 victory over the Springdale Bulldogs. I will come back with the Chafee Construction postgame show after this. This is Southside Maverick Football on Spirit 106.3. Let's go with
I think I can do it.
Yeah, you can do it with that now.